Such a classic and bloody good movie, with so many legendary actors and actresses I remember in years past. And so many surprises, too, especially with them. Such a glorious day to be making this independent review on the 4th of July. Let's begin. My dear friends, it's good to see you. After taking care of a tribute of a legendary actor, the show must go on. Alas, I wish I can give you my reviews for the other movies I promised. But whilst those are unavailable maybe for tonight, tonight is the 4th of July, and since I left the voting for you the fans, I guess Independence Day just won the full 9 yards. And the other two will be taken care of next year. I promise. But now, let's begin. Let's see. Independence Day, that came out in 1996, just 2 years before me and my bro were born. Also promoted or pronounced as ID4. Interesting. An American science fiction action film directed by Roland Emmerich, I think his name is, written by the same man, and the film producer is Dean Devison? I can't spell that one. But it has quite a legendary few casting members, which I'll get to them in a few minutes. The film follows a depressed group of people who convert in Nashville desert in the aftermath of a worldwide attack by a powerful external race, basically aliens from another dimension, from another world, invading our home. Not just my home, the entire world, basically. And with the other people of the world, they launch a counterattack on the 4th of July, Independence Day in the United States, which is now an Independence Day for the entire human race, because if they didn't unite and strike, all would be lost. Let's see, it says convinced by Emmerich while promoting Stargate in 1994, the film aimed to script a large-scale alien invasion, departed from typical protagonists of external visits, and obviously making the aliens more of a threat than peaceful and benevolent. And let's see, it says here filming began in July of 1995 and was completed in October that same year. And its punch released a year later, just a day before Independence Day. It was considered a pivotal moment for Hollywood blockbusters, leading the resurgence of disastrous scientific film in the late 1990s. Whoa. So apparently there were a lot of issues and problems in regards to the science fiction films, and if it wasn't for this, things would have gone a lot worse for science fiction. Not bad, not bad. Let's see, shall we? The film received genuine and positive reviews from critics, with praise for the cast performances, musical score, visual effects, but criticized for its character development. It emerged as a major communal success at box office, grossing over $860 $17.4 million worldwide on a production budget of 75 million. Wow. It became the highest grossing film of the year, the second highest grossing film ever at the time, behind Jurassic Park of 1993. Not bad. Not bad at all. And it says here the film won an Academy Award for Best Visual Effects and was nominated for Best Sound. Can't say I'm surprised on that one. It says there was a sequel for Independence Day Resurgence, which was released 20 years ago, or nearly 30 years ago, which is now 29, as part of the planned sequel of the film, but alas, the sequel didn't go very well, and a lot of people have been giving me some things about it. I'll watch it sometime, but for now, let's get to work and check into the production place. Let's see. Development. The idea of the film came when the director and producer were in Europe promoting their Stargate film in 1994. A reporter asked that director why he made a film consistent content like Stargate if he did not believe in aliens. He said here he was still fascinated by the idea of an alien arrival, and further explained his response by asking the reporter to imagine what it would be like to wake up one morning and to discover 50 meter wide ships were hovering over the world's largest cities. Them. Whoa. And I thought Phineas and Ferb says, I know what I'm going to do today. It looks like the reporter just gave the idea. Well played, my friend. And I think I have an idea for our next film, which you kind of get the idea. Let's see, the two of them decided to expand on the idea by incorporating a large-scale attack, with him saying he was balked by the fact, for the most part, in an alien invasion movie, they come to Earth, they hidden in some backfield, or they arrive in spores and inject themselves into the back of someone's head. Ugh. Okay. It says agreed. Let's see. It said the director agreed by asking him if, arriving from the galaxy, would you hide on your farm, or would you make a big appearance? Let's see. The two wrote the script during a month-long vacation in Mexico. Mexico, Mexico. And just one day after its sent out for consideration, 20th Century Fox chairman Peter, what is his name, greenlighted the screenplay. Pre-productions began just 3 days later, in February of 1995, and the U.S. military originally intended to provide personal vehicles and costume for the film. However, they backed out when the producers refused to remove the script's Area 51 reference. Ugh. Military agendas and politics. What cliches these days. Jokers. Let's see. Adem recorded 30,000 point special effects shots were ultimately be required for the film. They shot to utilize on set and camera. Wow, they put a lot of good efforts in these works. And I can't say half of these shots were made in a lot of places. Let's see. Huge airfield in California. Wow. So many cities and locations. And I can't say half of them. I'm surprised. Took a lot of effort and work. Colorado, Aircraft. These guys were doing a lot of work. Took some time to make it, but now they made something of a classic. So thank you to the reporter. Now, normally I would give about 5 of my reviews in that. But for now, I or I actually want to take care of the actors' characters, and we'll start with. Sorry about this, my friends. Will Smith as our dear friend Captain Steve, a Marine FA-18 pilot squadron leader with the Black Knight Squadron at Marine Corps Air Station El Toro. And it's an astounding, huh? It says here the role was originally going to be offered to Ethan Hawke, but he turned it down as he thought the script was terrible. And let's see. It looks like the two guys, our director and producer, had always envisioned an African American for the role, and specifically wanted Smith after seeing his performance in 6 Degrees of Separation. Impressive. Bill Pullman as President Thomas J. Whitmore, a former fighter pilot and Gulf War veteran. To prepare for the role, Pullman read Bob Whitmore's The Commanders and watched the documentary from the War Room. Impressive. Jeff Bloody Goldberg as David Levinson, I think his name was, a satellite engineer and technical expert. Yeah, he was part of the reason that discovered the aliens were making some sort of big feckin' plan right there. Mary McDonald has First Lady Madeline Wilson, the wife of Thomas. Yeah, I remember what happened to that lady. Hey, I remember. Oh, you're bloody well still alive. Thank Christ. I can't spell his name out, but Julian Anderson, that's David's father. And it says here the character was based on one of Dean Evenson's uncles. Interesting. Alright, we might have to skip one of these ahead for our one good actress, which I remember. Fortunately, I'm going to have to use to pronounce because, yeah. Let's see. Yada, pachi, bahai. Bene. Mae Whitman. I can't believe I can't get those words properly in. Yep, Mae Whitman as Patricia Whitmore, the daughter of the president. And I believe you remember that little name, do you not? Let's see. The girl who eventually grew up to do Katana, Tinkerbell, April O'Neil. I've also lost count on how many other characters, but I'm leaving one of my best for last. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. She. Let's see. Looks like she was in Skull Island, the animation. And yes, I know she was Roxy in the Scott Pilgrim universe. Man. That's a good one. The Jungle King too. Blah 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 yada yada. Yummy yummy blah 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 blah. No wonder about that one. Alright, stay focused. Blah 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 blah. That is stricken weird. Young Justice, that's a good one. And finally, The Owl House. Yep, this girl has truly developed into quite the famous actress, one that I'm quite proud of. Let's see, maybe I'll give you one more just for the heck of it. Randy Quaid, I think his name was, as Russel Casse, I think. A little bit of a problematic pilot, an alcoholic former fighter pilot and Vietnam veteran. He insisted that he was abducted by aliens. during a work on aerial, I'm not sure how you spell that one, 10 years prior to the film. Shortly after completing his military service. Yikes. Okay, maybe a bit more of a screw loose, but yeah. So, my opinion on this before I fired out this little speech of independence. Honestly, my dear friends, I enjoyed the hell out of that movie. It was such a classic. Such a classic. Independence Day. Here we go. And it was quite a one that I would never forget. And I'm sure everyone else would on this glorious day. Perfect. Just what I need. So, and besides, it began and cemented so many legendary actors and actresses. And for that, I owe it a personal debt. And since it did save science fiction and such, thank you very much, and especially to the directors and filmmakers. You all did wonderfully, including the music maple and oh my god, I forgot about the music man. Oh my god. Huh. David David Arnold. Let's see. Have I seen him somewhere before? David Arnold? Oh. So he did Fast and Furious and Die Another Day and other kind of works. Oh, played. Alright. Before we end this video, how about our personal speech, shall we?
Major. Sir. Good morning. Good morning. In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join others from around the world. And you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind. Mankind, that word should have new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united in our common interest. Perhaps it's fate that today is the 4th of July. And you will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Amen. Amen. So, I think the perfect review for that would be a classic 10 out of 10. And honestly, my friends, it feels very good to be doing much more good work. And it kind of feels funny. One life ends, another begins. And I'm doing a good video after a good man passed. And honestly, it feels good to be doing much more than just being a funeral director and just making posts. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, even though it's not the best review, obviously. But it's what you guys deserve, and it's what you deserve on me on the 4th of July. Sorry, I said May the 4th. Mix up these days. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I have spoken.